Hey, beautiful soul. You're listening to the Rising into Mindful Motherhood podcast, your weekly dose of fertility wisdom. I'm your host, Dr. Katie Wood. I'm a barefoot mama bear, pharmacist, and integrative fertility coach. This is your go-to podcast for all things to naturally nourish your fertility, embody womb healing, and reclaim your feminine power to accelerate your path to pregnancy. My expert guests and I will be having intentional conversations to discuss the many facets of a thriving, fertile foundation, natural wellness, and how we grow and transform as women on our journey to motherhood. So let's dive in, shall we? Hello and welcome to Rising into Mindful Motherhood. In this episode, I'll be talking with Maylen Arroyo, a mother, health coach, and founder of Happy Seeds Yoga and Recoupia, a holistic wellness business. Through Recoupia, Maylen empowers women and kids to build healthy habits, reduce stress, develop confidence, and cultivate self-love by focusing on the 8 dimensions of health. In today's episode, we'll be discussing the benefits of yoga and meditation with fertility in mind. So I'm so excited to have you on the podcast today, Maylen. It's been a while. Her and I have been connected for a couple of years now, and yeah, it's been a long time coming. We've had this in the books for, it feels like half the year, and December felt so far away, but here we
Yes,
are. So very
yes.
excited to have you on.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you so much for the introduction. I'm so excited to be here with your beautiful audience, and I can't wait to share my experience about the benefits of how yoga has helped me throughout my life. And yes, as you said, it just felt like when we put it on the books, it just felt, oh my goodness, it's so far away. Now it's okay, we're here. It's so fast. Time flies
Yeah,
when
it
you're
sure
having
does.
fun. Thank you,
Yeah.
Katie. Thank you.
Yeah, so I know how passionate you are about yoga and meditation, but I would love for you to share with the listeners how that came to be and why that passion runs so deep for you, because obviously the passion is there because you know all about the benefits.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. My path on yoga actually started when I got pregnant of my first daughter. We were going through some changes and stress throughout that time because we lived in Cincinnati for 7 years. And then my husband really wanted to work for a technology company. So we ended up moving to Seattle. We were already trying to have a baby, and back then I was 33 years old, so it took me a long time. Like I got married and we stayed single without kids for 7 years. And there was a point where we were like kind of like, okay, we need to make a decision. So before knowing that we were moving from Cincinnati, where we already had, and let me just like back up, like I'm originally from Mexico City, so living in Cincinnati for 7 years, I already had a group of friends who became family to us. And when we were about to move, basically, we just decided, you know what, we're probably going to put on hold, like trying to have a baby because we're moving to a new city and we would like to maybe explore and just meet some people. And then we were like, okay, let's put it on hold. We moved to Seattle, and a week after we arrived here, like we're celebrating, just like setting up the table and like cheering for like my husband's job here. And then I was like, I had some delays, and I'm like, oh, it's basically just stress from moving and everything. My husband is, no, you know what? Let's just do a test. So he's okay. I bought it today, and I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and do it. So then we do the test, we put it on the table, then as I'm serving the dinner, then I see it and then it's positive. And like both of us were just kind of like, we just look at each other, and it was like a slow motion moment for us. Whoa, like we just moved here. He just got a new job. I was about to start a new job also like a week after that. And it was shocking for us. So long story short, I never imagined like having a journey of being pregnant without having to share with the people that you love, like your family or your friends. So we didn't know anybody. And it just felt like very lonely, not having to share that happy moment with the people you love. And I have memories of like walking to work and like feeling sadness within me and for feeling so lonely and starting this new journey like that and adapting to like a new job and like a new city and everything around. I decided one day to join a prenatal yoga class, and it basically changed my life in different ways. It was for the purpose of connection and meeting new people that were going through the same in terms of the pregnancy. In terms of emotions, it just gave me a sense of peace and a sense of I'm not lonely anymore. The sense of belonging as well, and just the practice by itself, all the benefits that it comes in terms of what you're feeling inside your body. You're more connected with yourself, the hormones are balanced and everything, and like everything started feeling more okay, I'm in the right place and adapting to it, so it just became easier. Then after that, so I continued with my yoga practice while I was pregnant, and then when I had my first daughter Danica, I found a class for baby and me, and we decided to do it, and it was like super fun to do it with other moms, like sharing that yoga circle and room with other moms and babies. And I did that until my daughter turned 12 months and she was crawling all around, and I'm like, okay, I'm not able to do this anymore. I met a lot of moms and I started making friends over there, and it was also like a happy moment for me to be able to share with other moms what we were going through at the same time. And then after that, so I stopped my yoga practice for some time when I had my baby and just became a mom. And then 2 years later, I was like, we were always like out and about, like finding places. Since I live in Seattle, it's so rainy. Like you need to find places where, like you're indoors and then you're meeting with other parents as well. So we were always like out and about. And then I found this beautiful place where they were offering a trial class for kids. And I'm like, okay, let's go and try it out. So I took my daughter there. I just dropped her off, and then parents were able to just watch the yoga class. And I totally fell in love with that. I was like, wow, if I would have found yoga when I was her age, all the benefits that brings to your life. So I was like, I absolutely love this. And I decided to look for a certification for yoga for kids. And then 6 months after, that's when I decided to open Happy Seats Yoga. And then I was like, you know what? I don't want to just leave it at that. Like, I would love to share yoga for adults as well. And I decided to join a training with Breathe for Change and do my 200-hour yoga certification. It was an absolute amazing experience because it was a training with 200 people, and it was not only yoga, but also healing and connecting with others. So that's how I actually fell in love with yoga. And I'm like, I want to share this with others, all the benefits that has brought to my life in terms of feeling more connected with myself and calming the nervous system and just feeling more connected with your higher self, which your higher self knows exactly what you need and what you want and feel more guided through life. So that's how I actually found and fell in love with yoga. And now I'm so happy that I'm able to share yoga with not only for adults, but also with kids. I have a class for kids 6 to 10 years old. And I also do a family yoga class for parents who have kids between the ages of 1 and 4 years old. And that one is one of my favorites because it just brings a lot of joy, not only for the parents, but also for the kids, and in a very playful way. So that's my story about how I fell in love with yoga.
Amazing. And real quick before I get into my next question, are
Mhm.
those in person or virtual classes?
The classes that I'm doing right now, it's in person, but I'm opening a group for online because some people is asking for that, just for the purpose of doing it from the comfort of their house and without having to travel. But right now, the classes that I'm doing, it's mainly in person.
Perfect. Amazing. So, how beautiful is that story? So many things evolved for you just by walking into a prenatal yoga class because you were looking to connect with some other women. So,
Mhm.
I really, really love that story. And I know how much you love yoga and how passionate you are about it. So, you've mentioned some of the benefits. I think for you personally, connection and community were really big ones. You
Mhm.
talked a little bit about nervous system regulation, but I would love to dive into what are the benefits of yoga because I know that there's so many, but when
Mhm.
it comes to fertility, I think that that's such a specific topic, but the benefits are endless. And I know that you're the expert, so let's dive into that.
There's many benefits of yoga and in terms of fertility. It comes from either balancing hormones, reducing levels of stress, the physical benefits of it, just promoting more blood flow throughout our bodies. The emotional aspect that I talked about and how it was helpful for me during that time, like managing our emotions are very linked with hormones as well. When we have balanced emotions, it equals balanced hormones as well. The power of connection and community as well. And talking specifically about reducing levels of stress. When we are in a fertility journey, there's a lot of anxiety going on. There's a lot of what is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? There's probably some fear. There's probably some strong emotions going on if you have gone through maybe like losing a baby, and then is it going to happen again? So there's a lot going on in terms of stress and emotions. So talking about specifically about stress, balancing hormones is the most important factor when trying to conceive. And the body needs an environment where it actually feels safe. You know, our cells need to be safe. Our entire internal organs need to have a sense of this is possible, because the body is very wise, and the body knows, even though we just don't feel it. We're like, oh, I'm just running around all day and feeling stressed. Sometimes you don't think about it. How is that actually affecting everything in terms of hormones and my cells and my body feeling a sense of safety within it? That's when yoga comes to as a tool for practicing breathing, connecting with your breath, and practicing slow movements, gentle movements with your body. Some specific yoga poses, even there's research about it that promote blood flow within your pelvic area and can promote even the production of the hormones that we need to conceive, progesterone, estrogen, and everything, testosterone. Like practicing yoga, it just gives you a sense of, it activates the parasympathetic system, which is the system where we are in a rest and digest and relaxing state. And that's exactly what our body needs when we are going through a process of trying to conceive in a fertility journey. Yoga provides the tools to just calm the mind. And from a holistic perspective, it's just like being connected with your mind, your body, and your spirit. And that also connects with emotions. It allows you to just feeling more calm. And I use a lot of, with my kids and adults, positive affirmations when we are practicing yoga with specific yoga poses. Just positive affirmations is just like a way of training your mindset and your brain into a, this is possible, this can happen. And through repeating those positive affirmations is trusting in the process rather than trying to control or be based on fear. So it also connects your emotions, put your emotions or put yourself into a positive mindset of, I trust in the process and this is possible for me.
Mhm. Yeah, so many beautiful benefits in just one practice, yoga.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
I like to remind my community and my clients, you can start small. You don't have to start with
Totally,
a 30 to 45-minute class. You could do
totally.
a 5-minute practice and then build on
Mhm,
that. Maybe you can add on another 5 minutes and then another 5 minutes.
mhm,
And I think the one thing that I really, really love about yoga in terms of fertility is it allows you to be in your body, to really cultivate that presence and
mhm,
awareness to be with yourself. Because when you're in the fertility journey and you're struggling, we're just so stuck in our mind that we're
yes.
really leaning into the masculine in the doing, and
Mhm,
sometimes forcing and controlling. And when I think of yoga, I think that it can really help maybe that type A woman lean a little bit more into her feminine and get
mhm,
back, from the neck down because
yes,
a lot of us have lost that. Whether
yes.
you're trying to get pregnant or not, we're just in such a busy state. Our
Mm.
society is just go, 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 and constantly on to the next thing and on to the next thing. So to be able to take that time for yourself, whether it's 5 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour, it's an act of self-love,
Yes,
self-care.
yes,
And
totally.
like you just mentioned, the benefits are endless. Like
Hmm.
being able to activate that parasympathetic state, that is pro fertility. So yeah, I love yoga myself. I've been doing it, oh my gosh, I don't even know, probably over a decade. And just talking about it here with you, I'm like, wow, I got to get back into that. I haven't really
Yes,
done it super consistently in a while because life happens, but we have these reminders of, hey, this
yes.
is how good it can be. So if you're listening, maybe you used to do yoga in
Hmm.
the past and you've fallen away from it. So let this
Hmm.
be your reminder, that little gentle push to reconnect to that practice, or maybe start a
Totally.
practice if this is something new for you.
Totally, totally. I love what you mentioned about that. It doesn't need to be like a, oh, I need to go back and it's a 30-minute session. You can start like the small steps are the ones that actually count. And that's how me as a coach share with my clients to build healthy habits. Sometimes we just want those big goals and we just see the end of the goal. It's not about that. It's like building, taking small steps. And I love the fact that you mentioned about it's about self-care. For me, yoga is a gift of self care and self love, as you mentioned, Katie. And that's exactly what, when we are going through a process of fertility, that's exactly what we're going through. The body is wise again, and the body knows. It's kind of like how we start our teaching lesson. Like once you become a mom, it's a constant reminder. I'm a mother of two, that it becomes so much about giving, giving, giving to others that it's easy to forget about yourself. So yoga has given me the gift of just give yourself 5 minutes from the moment. And it can be as easy as when you wake up in the morning, either you stay laying down on your bed and take a couple breaths, or you sit down in your bed and practicing some like breathing, and you take some time to feel gratitude for setting an intention for your day, the mindset that you want, or how you want your day to actually unfold, versus just waking up, getting ready, getting dressed up, and then being the go, go, go. And then just let life happen, taking just a quick moment of mindful waking up, making a couple rounds of breath, setting an intention, setting up my mindset, how I want my day to unfold. And if challenging things, there's things that I cannot control, and those, as soon as they come, I'm just going to let go. Just making that exercise when you do that in the morning or before going to bed, it prepares you for what's going to come, and it makes you more aware of how you're feeling in here, like the things that are happening around, and the things that you don't need to worry about it. And as you said, when we stop the practice, I feel it. The days that I don't do it, or that I stop meditating because I'm just like on the go, 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 I feel it. By the end of the day, I'm exhausted. I just feel throughout the day kind of like, oh, shaky or nervous. And in the days that I do my practice and take the time to do it, it just feels like the difficult things that sometimes feel difficult, it's just, oh, it's easy. Don't worry about it. Like next page, or let's move on. So as you said, it doesn't need to be something difficult. Dedicate 5 minutes, and then you will start, because you start loving it and seeing and feeling the difference in your body and your mind. Then you're going to start saying, you know what, tomorrow it's going to be 10 minutes. And maybe next week it's going to be 15 minutes, until your body is ready for that. And for those who have never practiced yoga, I want to just provide a couple yoga poses that I know that bring so much benefit in terms of fertility. One is reclining bound angle pose. This is a restorative yoga pose when we practice it sometimes during savasana. And this is basically you just lay down on your back, you bend your knees, and you put together the sole of your feet. You let your knees go down to the floor. Relax the arms next to your body with palms facing up, or maybe on your heart or on your stomach. And then take a couple rounds of breath while you are in that yoga pose. It's so relaxing. The benefits of it, it calms the mind. It reduces levels of stress. So again, it activates your parasympathetic system. It helps with insomnia. Sometimes when we're going through fertility, a journey of fertility, sometimes we're like, okay, weariness comes and then we cannot sleep well. So it allows you to sleep better at night. It improves circulation and hip mobility, and also can open the pelvic region, the chest, the abdomen, and the pelvis. So it's an amazing pose that can be just easily done wherever you are, in your living room, in your bed when you wake up. The other one that it's so easy to do, and it's the legs up the wall. And that one, as easy as before you're going to bed, just lay down on your bed and just put the legs on the wall. Or if you want to do it on your living room or your mat, just put the hips closer to the wall and then legs up. Stay in that pose for maybe 10, 15 minutes and just connecting with your breath.
Mhm.
And as easy as that, and it also promotes, for this one, stimulates the ovaries and the reproductive organs. It can help secrete hormones like progesterone, increases blood flow, and reduces the tension in the pelvic area. Just by doing that, just like laying down. Maybe if you're reading a book, just read your book and keep your legs up, or maybe you just want to close your eyes and just focus on your breathing. So for those who have never practiced yoga, or as you said, like we forget about it and then are on the go, go, go and want to come back, just practice those two, and then you will see the benefits and the difference on how you feel inside of you and your mind as well.
Mhm. Amazing. Yes, thanks for sharing those. And I think my favorite that feels so good is it seems similar to the first one you shared, Happy Baby, but you
Oh,
just keep your
yes.
legs up and you can hold your your
Your,
feet with
uh-huh,
the palms of your
uh-huh.
hand. You
Yes.
could probably explain it better
your
than me.
your big toe. Yeah, you just lay down on the floor and then you hold your big toe. And then it's basically like babies do it. They just roll side to side and it's a super relaxing child's pose. It's another one. It's not difficult. You just be on the floor, open your knees, and then just rest your head on the mat or on the floor. Hands can be in the back or maybe under your head as a pillow. So those are simple yoga poses that we just practice, like maybe you can practice those three that we mentioned and do couple rounds of breaths with each one of those, and then you'll feel the difference. And then your practice will be evolving because you will, I know that it just happens. You fell in love because you feel the difference in your body and in your mind.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
when you were talking earlier about the days that you don't do yoga, I feel like those are the days that we probably think or feel that we don't have time, but those are actually the days that we need it the most.
Realize until the end of the day, and you're like, yes, this is the day that I needed to add that. So it's a reminder of I'll wake up 10, 15 minutes earlier the next day to just give myself the gift of self-care, the gift of yoga, and the gift of just having a different mindset and a different way to face the day. Mhm.
Yeah. And another thing that came through for me is it it feels so good to be able to stretch your body and have those releases because we store
Mhm.
emotions, we store trauma in our body, and a lot of times as women, we store them in our hips.
Yes,
So a lot of those poses that you shared with us, they're helping with that hip mobility. And then if you do get into the practice of yoga, you're going to actually be able to help release
yes,
some of
yes.
these heavy emotions that you weren't able to process at the time
Mhm.
that they happened, and they've just been
Totally.
lingering in your body, and you're going to be able to help release some of that, and it's going to feel amazing. I think one
Yeah.
of my favorite poses, which is needed, right? Because I we're so tight in the hips, but I love pigeon pose. I think it
Uh,
feels so good. It's like
yeah.
it's not pain, but it's that type of stretch that's I'm trying to think of how I want to say this. It doesn't hurt. That's not the right thing, but you can
It
feel it.
stretches. You can
It's a
feel the
little
stretch.
uncomfortable
Yes,
maybe, but it
yes,
feels good. That's like
yes,
the type of
yes.
stretch that is. So yoga is just such a beautiful practice. And another thing that came through to my mind too is it's a beautiful thing to really get into the habit and the practice of now because
Mhm.
prenatal yoga, that is really actually going to help prepare your pelvis,
Mhm.
your
Yes,
body,
yes,
getting baby into the right position.
yes,
So this is not only an act of self-love and self-care for yourself now, but it's a gift that you're
yes,
also going to give to your pregnant self and your baby as they're
yes.
growing inside of you and
Mhm.
in birth as well. So I
Yes.
always like to think of like the big picture. It's not just I'm doing this to get pregnant. I'm
Mhm.
doing this to really create and foster a level of health and vitality that ripples through
Yes.
me and into
Mhm.
future generations as well.
Yes, totally, totally. And it allows you to be so connected with yourself and your body that other magic things start happening. In my health coaching, I use the 8 dimensions. So we look at relationships, like emotions, financial health, physical health, everything. And by practicing yoga, by doing that and giving yourself that gift, as you said, it allows you to access things that were out of balance because you are more connected with your emotions. As you said, letting go emotions or situations from the past. You're so connected that all the heavy bags that we're carrying in terms of emotions or past experiences, you're just letting them go and feeling more light in life and accessing other areas of health. Like if you probably were not eating healthy, which is very important as part of fertility, then yoga, it's a little voice inside of you telling you, okay, I'm going to make a better choice today. I'm going to have something that probably I didn't try before. So it's a beautiful practice that allows you to access other areas that you don't realize until you actually practice it. It has helped me a lot about being in the present moment. And sometimes during a fertility journey, we tend to be a lot on either the future, is it going to happen, the expectation, or the past. If I had a bad experience, is it going to happen or not? But yoga, it allows you to just be in the present moment. And that's exactly what our body needs for us to be able to conceive is we go back to the sense of safety, the environment of safety within our body. So yoga allows you to access that because you're in a better place in terms of mood and emotions and everything. So it's so many benefits that we can just keep going on and on.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing. That's a beautiful place to end. And I know that you have a beautiful offer to share with the listeners if you want to go ahead and let them know what's up your sleeve.
Yes, I would love to. You ask at the beginning, are your yoga classes only in person or online? So for those who are interested in, I want to do online yoga with Mylen. I would love to offer 25% of package of yoga classes. Or if you're interested in a one-on-one coaching, I have a plan for 3 months so that you really see the results of the holistic health coaching. I would love to offer also 25% of my regular price for that specific plan. And they can reach out to me through my email at mylen@recoupia.com. And I'll send you the links and everything so that your beautiful audience have access to that. And would love to give the gift of all these benefits that we've been talking about, the gift of just connect with yourself, enjoy this process of fertility, because it's such a beautiful process and maybe we just put a lot of stress on it. And the moment we just are connected with ourselves and let go of worriness and fears and all of that, it happens. And when we prepare our mind to just be positive about it and believe that it's possible, it's giving instructions to yourselves as well. And it happens.
Amazing. And yes, share with the listeners where they can find you, learn more, and connect with you as well.
Mhm. So you can find me on social media, on Instagram or Facebook, Recoupia Health, or my website. You can go on my website and find my contact information there, www.recoupia.com, or my email, mylen@recoupia.com.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being on today, Mylan. It was a beautiful conversation, and I know that the listeners are going to get so much from it.
Thank you, Katie. I really appreciate the opportunity and seeing you and reconnecting again and just providing this amazing conversation and the benefits of yoga for your beautiful community. Thank you so much, Katie.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Rising into Mindful Motherhood podcast. If this episode resonated with you or gave you an aha moment, stop what you're doing right now and write a review. This simple act of kindness helps me get this podcast out to connect with as many women as I possibly can. I also have a special offer. If you send me a screenshot of your review, I will take $250 off one of my premium coaching containers. Let me know what resonated with you the most and why. So connect with me in my free Facebook community or tag me on Instagram. You'll find both listed below. Thanks again from the bottom of my heart for tuning in to this episode, and I'll see you next time.